What is up, everybody? Starting a bit late today, but I was watching Cairo play Armored Core, so you know. I might play that myself later tonight. I'm in the mood. I love that game, and watching Cairo play it for the first time, I'm like, yeah, I kinda need to play this again. It is good, but alright, let's, we got the final boss of Agartha to do, and then we'll start Salem. So I feel like, chat, when we get to Abigail and Salem, we shouldn't kill her, right? Like, if we beat her, sure, but then we'll reset the app. I kind of feel like we should keep the stage so we have it on JP. Because I've kept the stage on an A, that's not that helpful. So having it on JP would be kind of nice. All you get is a Grail, right? And I say that like, you know, Grails don't matter. Grails are nice, but they're not so nice that I want to trade a good boss fight for it. I don't think there's any interludes or strengthening quests behind Salem that I care about, so seems reasonable to me. And yeah, this account has a lot of Grails, so. And hell, I didn't realize this until today, but my main account is actually sitting on 3 Grails right now, so it's kind of nice. Alright, final boss. So this fight is pretty similar to the last one, except the main thing is you only really need to kill him once, and then you kind of just stall like a motherfucker. Which is a lot more up the alley of what an account like this can handle. Because we've got things like David and Mash and Hans and so on and so forth. Alright, what do we want the DPS to be? Just to do something different from yesterday, let's go Nobu. I know that Nobu is kind of OP as fuck, but I think that'll be kind of fun. Although, one second, I gotta turn my heater off, it's loud. And it's hot, so. That wonderful time of year where like half the day it's cold and half the day it's hot. It's great. Alright, let me think. Honestly, our Hercules could be the DPS. I think in my video I just used Lubu, so pretty much anyone can work. David? No. It's Qingong or something. You want Hans to NP pretty early on, but he needs long-term value too. Yeah, NP1 Herc. It's not the best. This is not an Armored Core song. This is from Bastion. This is from, yeah, Bastion. Good game. Did I ever stream that? I think I did. I think many years ago I think I streamed it, but I'm not 100% sure. Can't think of anything I can give Qingong that's going to be all that useful. When in doubt. I think there's debuffs here, like poison or something. I'll go Atlas. Alright, so I think after you bust this guy's health once, he just starts losing maximum health every turn, but he has like unlimited guts. Or like every time guts goes off, he loses maximum health or something like that. I don't remember exactly, I just remember you need to at least bust him up once, and then stall, and then smack him again, and you win, pretty much. It can be tricky, but it should be easy for this account. Well, easy enough, anyway. So I've said that about some bosses in the past and gotten destroyed. Hey, I just drank Fury, literally half a second ago. Oh, alrighty. I don't think it's a turn limit, it's just after a certain amount of turns, he'll have lost so much maximum health that you're kind of good to go. Like, I think after 10 turns he starts wrecking himself, or something like that. And then as he gets less and less health, dealing with the guts thing just becomes easier. Or he might just have guts forever until the 10 turns are up. That's what I think it is. I think after 10 turns he loses the guts. And what happens is the more you bust up his guts within those 10 turns, the less maximum health he'll have, and then so the easier it is to finish him off when he doesn't have guts. Because you still have to kill him after the guts is gone. But within those 10 turns, I'm pretty sure he has unlimited guts for 10 turns. But every time he comes back with guts, he has less and less health. Something like that. Anyway, let's see. Probably could have waited one turn to cast that. I'm whipping the heal, but who do I give the game to? I guess we'll give it to Nobu. Try to get a big smack in. Nobu should be pretty good here. She doesn't have like the best survivability ever, but I don't think you need too much. This guy really loves his crits. Okay. I was tempted to do the buff success chance up, but I wanted the hard chain for Nobu. I have to roll Donzo in 3 hours. How much do you guys saved up and summon tickets and all that? I know you got a decent amount. Aren't you just going for NP5 now, or are you only going for like NP3 or something? I know, don't you have her like at NP2 or something? You got the defense up, if it matters. Nice damage, nerd. Got all these defense up. Feels good, man. 1012 SQ going for 3 copies. So what do you have for MP2? Going for MP5? Hi, Airy. What's up? I don't know why I just said Airy that way. That was like how I used to say, like, Airy, right? Like, getting extreme here. I can finally watch streams again. Feels good. Alright, what are we doing? Oh, and thank you for the resub. That's kind of an important part of that. Thank you for the 30 months. Not a whole lot of reason to do the Buster Chain. Now this fight, although for some setups it may be hard as well, but the way this fight is way more up the alley of this account, so it shouldn't be a problem. Unless I'm forgetting something, which yes, he got maximum HP down. But I may be forgetting some aspect of this fight, and maybe it's a bigger problem than I'm thinking. But it should be okay! Also, apparently he still tries to insta-death you, and he just missed, though. Wonder if I should remove this, so she's less likely to die to insta-death. I'll do it next turn, because his NP probably does something nasty. Wow, I did not set up my stuff correctly. Like, we've had so much defense up and everything, and then for the one turn he's NPing is the one turn we're vulnerable. We did something wrong here. Gotta hope for the best on Hans here. He'll be fine. So if we had just done things slightly differently and we had literally one more thing to like protect Hans, I think he'd be alright. But yeah, he might die, we'll see. Got defense up and damage cut. It's an AoE, not a single target. Whispering though. Yeah, it's fine. A little bit of burn damage though, but okay. Let's get rid of the insta-death down. Watch her die anyway. Hoping Hans gets his NP here. And then doesn't die. Okay. I tell you, man, Mash and Hans together are pretty tanky. Please don't insta-kill Mash. I would like to kill this guy one more time before the 10 turns are up, but no biggie, really. Demon Pillars say some weird things. That last song was Focus from Frozen Synapse. Damn, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. I wanted to kill it and then put those attacks into the next health bar, but... Oh well! Got his max HP down a good bit though. Man, if you go ham, you could totally get his max HP down like so low by the time the 10 turns are up. Man, it must be so nasty to use like Nobu Berserker with double Merlin. Because her skill is basically a mini Merlin NP, and then they're obviously going to have multiple stacks of their NP going. Get pretty ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to hope she lives this turn. Well, I'm not sure we're even going to need our back row. We will if we get insta-death. So I feel like Berserker Nobu would have worked really well for the previous boss fight as well. He's a lot tankier than the stuff we were using. And this account doesn't have Nobukatsu ready, but he would be handy too. He would have been better for the other fight, where you don't have to stall. Because as far as I can tell, these fights are basically exactly the same, except the other one, you have to do, 800,000 damage to a ruler, where this one you have to last 10 turns and then do like, whatever his max health is down to by that point. I would say this one's definitely easier for most people, though. I think the other one, though, is so easy to cheese if you just summon an Avenger, like from your support list. But, like, everybody has the kind of teams, the type of units that would allow you to live for 10 turns here. Like, pretty much Mash and Hans, right? So, not too hard. Alright, his guts is gone, now he's down to 130k, so that's not bad. Can we keep Nobu alive for one more turn? I think so. She'll get double healed here. Yeah, I think we got it. That's crazy, we didn't need our back row at all. Although we got lucky, because when he tried to insta-kill Mash, he failed, right? Where we did the other boss yesterday, when we did Mash and Hans, he insta-killed Mash pretty early on, I remember. Nice damage, though. Alright, well, I think they got it. Would it be surprising if I told you Gorgon soloed this? Yeah, I'm not too shocked by that. I feel like Avengers, you know, they do pretty good against rulers. Oh yeah, and she has guts, doesn't she, right? So the insta-kill thing, you got a bit of a safety net against, so... Isn't she the only Avenger that has guts? I think she is, unless I'm forgetting something. Yeah, I think she's the only one. So that's a pretty nice, bit of utility for this. Oh yeah, Angra, excuse me! I'm not gonna lie, chat, I don't even see Angra as an Avenger. I just see Angra as Angra. Nobody's like, oh guys, we're fighting a ruler boss. Unleash the Angra! Like, nobody does that. That's not a thing. I wish it was a thing, but it's not. I will say, Angra at Bond 10 with his interlude finished, if he's 10-10-10 and all that stuff, with Scatty, can result in some surprisingly large normal card damage against rulers. But it is not large enough to actually be practical or better than, you know, Jolper or, you know, all that nonsense. Yeah, I mean, if you brought really strong supports for Angra, you could kill Mothman with them. But if you're going to be like, LOL, you know, 1 to 3 stars, my DPS is Angra, I haven't tried it yet, but I will be at some point on the 1 to 3 star account. And I'll let you know then. But I don't think it's going to go very well, but we'll see. I really feel like Berserkers are going to end up being better than him, but, you know, we'll see. His Bond 10 buff is good, though. Like, that's a nice buff, like, no doubt. Just his stats are low, and, you know, a lot of other things. And, you know, he kills himself. Minor detail. Unleash the snake. You see, that actually works, though, right? Like, Gorgon's actually good. I actually really enjoyed Gorgon versus Tam Beastie, because it was like Gorgon was good for the fight and she had like things that were useful and made the fight, you know, smoother, but she didn't even come close to trivializing it. Like, not at all. Like, there's a lot of DPS you can use against Tam Beastie that makes the fight basically not a fight. Like, you're gonna win no matter what, right? Like, Tam Cat. I don't think anything counters that boss harder than Tam Cat. Like, that, she literally can just eat the boss alive in like no time and can never die, and it's just easy. And then like regular Tam is really good there, and Enkidu is Enkidu can solo it for God's sakes. I mean, so can Tam Cat, but I think out of every unit in the game, Tam Cat is probably what shuts that boss down the most. Lobo is good too. I didn't ever use him, but I've seen people use him, and I know the way the gimmicks in that fight work, so I can see Lobo being good. I feel like Lobo is like around the edge where he's really good. He's definitely better than Gorgon, but I still don't think he's gonna like completely trivialize the fight, which in my eyes is a good thing. But I enjoyed Gorgon because she was AoE, so your DPS was still a lot lower and that kind of thing. But you know, she had guts and the stun, and that was really helpful. So. Beast Tam is a unique thing. She basically is counterclassed by Tams. So they actually did kind of a cool thing with the way they did that fight. So she's not like a proper beast, she's like a half beast. So she still kind of retains some of her original class. And so like her original class is assassin. And so casters still are like half effective against her. Like so that was confusing. It took the player base a while to figure out exactly how she worked. But basically, anything that's like not human is effective against her, but then casters are as well, and that's because she was originally an assassin and she hasn't actually like turned into a proper beast. So it's like, it's kind of neat the way they did all that. But then also, Tams counter her like big time, and they don't take like even Tam Cat doesn't take the bonus damage of being a berserker in that fight. So Tam Cat is just god tier there because she does massive bonus damage where almost no one else does. She does not take bonus damage where basically everyone else does. And then Tam Cat, if she's not, you know, having the drawbacks of a berserker, is actually one of the tankier units in the game. She has massive healing and vulnerability and all that nonsense. Yeah, bring a whole team of Tams. It's treason then, indeed. All right. Wait, are we done? Right, I think we beat it. Yeah, that's just free quests now. Okay, so We've already done all of Epic of Remnants except for Salem. How about that? We're probably never going to get the Grail from this one, but we'll do it anyway. Wait, where are we on Bond with Herc? I'm hoping we're at, like, at least 200k in. That way, by the time we're done with this, Herc will probably only need, like, maybe 100k or something. And that's just, like, an event or two of, like, farming. So then we can move on. Because I don't want to move on until he's Bond 10. We can't... And we cannot, I have to stress this, we cannot do Lost Belt 5-2 until our Herc is maximum Herc, right? There's no fighting Zeet until we've got the best Hercules we can have. Yeah, we did Shimoso actually a long time ago. My chat, of course, wanted... The second I beat 1.0, my chat wanted me to do Shimosa instead of Lost Belts and stuff, so... Which made it, a nightmare, because we had nothing. But we beat it anyway, but it just took forever. I'll never forgive the chats. Let's see. Oh yes, right. Everybody's halved. Okay, we didn't get quite as much Bond there as I would have liked. I figure by the... Salem's a bit shorter. I figure we're still gonna need like 200,000, maybe not quite that much, probably like 180. I'm gonna guess you're gonna need like about 180k Bond when this is over. I'm so mad that Hercules does not get bonus Bond in any of the Epic of Remnants. Any of them. If he had gotten bonus Bond in just one of them, we would be so much farther along. And it'd be like nice and smooth, but nope. You know what I need to start doing is free quests. This account has never done any of the free quests. The amount of SQ that we have sitting there is insane. Because not only is there just loads of SQ from the free quests themselves, but every time you beat 10 free quests, you get a bonus 10 SQ. So yeah, that's a lot of SQ kind of just sitting there. Let's go double assassin, that's fine. I should bring George, because we're kind of close to getting him Bond 10 as well. Actually, he's closer. That's funny. We've actually tried to bring Herc as much as humanly possible. And George is closer. But George doesn't need as much Bond to get Bond 10. Still, I'm surprised that it kind of worked out that way. Ozzy doesn't get bonus Bond in any of them either. Feels bad. That's crazy too, because some of the Bond bonuses are so broad. You know, all females, all night classes. Like those two are pretty big. They cover a lot of units there. The half level thing in Salem is not that big of a deal, because most of the enemies you fight, they kind of scale to, you know, half roughly what you would be expecting. Not quite, like they're not. The enemies definitely aren't cut in half, but also your craft essences aren't cut in half, and your mysticode's not cut in half, and your skills aren't. So it's fine. It's really not any different than in the other story. More of a flavor thing, really, and you don't get to see as big of numbers, so I guess that can be disappointing for some people. Yeah, Salem is a bit more limited in the Bond bonus, but still, it's an entire class at least, so that's a lot of things. Yeah, assassins do well. Honestly, if your favorite character is a female assassin, it is going to be so easy for you to get them Bond 10 if you just do Epic of Remnant before you do Lost Belt. Right, like literally just do the evil one and the female one, and you're probably going to have them Bond 10. Like, just make sure you bring, like, let's say your favorite character is 100 face, right? If you just bring 100 face to every stage, and Agartha, and every one in what's the other one? Shinjuku or whatever, the evil one, that's probably going to get you Bond 10. Between that and 1.0, you're pretty much good to go. Yeah, that's kind of how it was on my main account. By the time they did the Epic of Remnant stuff, I already had my favorite set, Bond 10. And Bond 10, the thing is, Bond 10 doesn't matter, with the exception of, you know, St. George, Mozart, Hercules, obviously, you know, a few other ones here and there, but for the most part, it doesn't really matter. Like, yeah, it's nice, but it's not a big deal, so especially after you beat Guadia, right? Because it matters for Guadia, but if you're past Guadia, who cares? People get way too obsessed with Bond for, like, no reason. It's like a bragging thing or something, but it's kind of silly. Like, sure, if you want to do it because that's what you want to do and prioritize, that's great, but some people do it for, like, you know, e-penis stuff, which is, like, that's so dumb. That's such a dumb thing to do. Yeah, there's a few people that have things kind of like 2030 or Star Bomb, and they're normally not as good as like the equivalent CEs, but you might not have the equivalent CEs if you start playing the game later, so it's not bad. Yeah, a lot of it's like flexing and showing off, but a lot of people that like this happens every time. Like I remember when Castoria came out, someone got her Bond 15 in like 48 hours. I don't remember exactly how long it took them, but it was like the first day or two, and they had her Bond 15, right? That is so pointless, and it's not even impressive because I guarantee you, I can't guarantee you, but like I'm almost positive they just used a clicking macro, right? Like on an emulator or a screen mirroring thing to do that. So who cares, right? Like, and I'm not like, you know, like, oh, how dare they? That's fine. I don't really care if they do that, but it's not impressive. So it's like I don't get the point. So it's like it's just kind of silly. And I guess if they're like your favorite character and you want to know what their Bond 10 CE is, right? Then that makes sense. But Bond 15 doesn't even do anything. Yeah, almost every time somebody gets Bond, this happened multiple times. There's been multiple times where someone gets Bond 15 like just so fast on a new unit, and I pretty much always suspect that it's a macro or a bot, because it's not hard to bot FGO. It's actually really easy, especially if you're a whale. Because honestly, if you're like a newbie or a free-to-play person, there's really nothing you could do with like an auto-clicker or a macro that would really help you, because you're not going to have a setup that can reliably beat a stage in the exact same way, no matter what. How like people that have been playing for a long time, or whales and stuff, how they do it is, you know, they have a setup that can, you know, NP 3 times in a row or whatever, you know, K-scope or, you know, scatty, whatever it is, something that does not rely on normal cards in any way, relies just on skills and NPs, and will 3-turn no matter what. Like literally no matter what happens, they'll always 3-turn. That way you can make a reliable like macro that will click in like this place and this place and this place, and then click this to refill AP, and then you just keep going, right? Where a lot of accounts wouldn't be capable of doing that kind of thing. By the way, it's against terms of service, so I am not endorsing doing this, and yada 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 yada. But it's just something that happens, so. Because it's literally not hard to do. Like, it's not hard to do. Like, you don't need an emulator. Like, you can just use like a screen mirroring program, which there are a million of. And hell, I use one to stream, you know, like Samsung Flow. And those aren't against terms of service, but using a macro and bot and all that stuff certainly is. Oh wait, is this the end? I've been trying to get like long-term value, but the stage is over. Excuse me. Oh yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it. There's plenty of ways you can set up a 3-turn that won't have to change like its clicks. But yeah, if you leave the game running basically 24/7 for like a day or two, you can get Bond 15. If you're efficiently 3-turning and always resetting your AP and that kind of thing, you can get Bond 15 pretty quick. There's no reason to, but some people do. I could not tell you why, but they do. I was not that surprised with Castoria though, because it had already happened in the past, and Castoria was so popular and so meta, and everyone was losing their minds when she got added, so I was like, when I saw that someone got Bond 15 that fast, I was kind of like, yeah, I figured. I can't even remember who some of the other characters people did it with really fast, but they weren't as popular or OP as Castoria, so. I really think a big part of why they don't want to add I'm telling you, dude, I just see so many signs of this. First off, you know, some of it's just lazy, but this other mindset kind of allows them to be lazy, so I think they're happy to do it. They're like afraid to change anything in this game, right? They've had this format of limited time events that like incentivize you, you know, to play while it's available, right? Like, you know, artificial scarcity, that kind of thing. This game has been based on that forever, where it's just been main story, you know, once every few months, and now it's like once every 6 months, if not more. And then, you know, every month or so, you just have an event, be it a rerun or a new thing, and it lasts like a week or two, and that's that, right? They've been using the same formats, like with event CEs and shops and CE drops and, you know, mission-based CEs, lotteries, and all those things, right? And point ladders. They've been doing the same thing for so long, right? And you can tell the way they pace things with dailies and the story and free quests and when they do have events going and stuff like that, is they're literally afraid to give you other things to do, because then like people might get burnt out, or they might not want to play the limited events, or they might not, you know, care about the challenge quest or whatever. Like, it's just obvious. It's like they don't want you to have other things to do. They want it to be, if the event comes out, of course you're going to be doing the event, because there's literally nothing else to do, and it's way more efficient than doing dailies or free quests. So it's like that their whole business model just revolves around these limited time events. That's their whole fucking business model. I think it's stupid, because I think they could, you know, still have those kinds of things and still support other things. I mean, look at like literally every other game out there, which are able to do both without it being a problem. But that requires effort and balancing and math and thinking about, you know, ratios and AP costs and what players actually want, like in terms of rewards and things like that. So if you look at like Epic 7, Arc Knight, 7 Deadly Sins, Grand Blue Fantasy, you know, the Dragon Ball Z game that I always forget the name of, you know, they find a lot of ways to kind of mix up game modes and have different rewards that you can get from different things. But then if an event's out, it's still really good to do the event, because you can do those other game modes anytime. Oh yeah, Azure Lane. But FGO doesn't do that. Like, they don't do that. It's not like, oh hey guys, you go do the boss mode to get your skill gems, and then you can do, you know, the Setsuban style thing to get your QP, and then when events are going on, you can get a lot of ascension mats, and like they don't do that, right? Of course not, right? Like, that requires effort. You know, they like just doing this, you know, repetitive same thing for, you know, forever, because why mix it up? Like, literally they're doing the same thing over and over again for the last 5.5 years, and they're making money. So they're not, I think it's not just that they're lazy, I think it's that, and they may not be lazy, it could be Aniplex making them do it this way, I have no idea. But they do seem to be lazy to me as of the way they've been behaving over the last 2 years. Anyway, but it could also just be they're literally afraid to like mess up the golden goose, right? Like, they got something good going, they don't even know why it's going so good, and they're like, yeah, just don't touch it and, you know, make as much money as we can. Yeah, so if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Which sometimes is true, but I don't think it's the right thing in this game. I like to point out how absolutely ludicrous the dailies are in this game, because they were designed like 4 years ago. Like 3.5 years ago or something, right? They're incredibly old, and they don't even have most of the mats in the game anymore. Like, since they created those dailies, they've added more mats than were in the game at the time. Like, those original dailies cover pretty much all the mats that were in the game at the time, although they're not available every day, of course. But since then, they've just added so many mats. The dailies are basically irrelevant, aside from maybe QP, and if you're trying to get like gold gems in an emergency and stuff like that. They don't really do anything anymore, right? They're pointless, and their difficulty is pointless. You know, they're shit. Like, they're totally shit, and they cost 40 AP. Like, imagine having a stage that bad and then charging 40 AP for it. Like, it's just silly. Oh, why can't I have Moriarty on any of the accounts that I want to have him on? Feels bad. I know, that emote, I love it. And then it's UI design. Oh, hold on. Speaking, because Beastly Whale made that emote. Speaking of which, Beastly Whale made this a while ago, but I didn't know about it until today. And this is aimed at, I'll just say this file is named DW Internal Skin Discussion. I'll just say that's the name of this file.
Sure. I believe we are leaving a lot of money on the table by not monetizing skins and fake brand order. If we started charging, we could produce a lot more high-quality costumes.
That's a great idea. We can start putting the most requested skins into fake brand order arcade. Either way, I am stealing this idea, and you're fired.
The arcade line makes that so amazing. As soon as he says FGO Arcade, it's just 10 out of 10. That's a great idea. We can start putting those in FGO Arcade. But yeah, that pretty much summarizes DW and skins, so. Yeah, Beastly's a good chap. I made this at 4 AM a month ago. It's pretty much my favorite one. It's pretty good. Alright, let's see, what are we doing here? Bust out the Shiba. She's story relevant here, so why not? I actually might ask like an artist to make some really basic like pictures. Like you show a picture of like DW's building, right? And then you show, you know, Bert, whatever his name is, pitching it to Iago from Aladdin or something. Like just really basic stuff, and then put subtitles to it so it's good and clear and everything, right? I don't know if it's worth all that effort, but that'd be pretty good. If Beastly's on board, I might do that. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, just I love how FGO Arcade, you know, they actually put in effort to, you know, costumes and whatnot, and then FGO is over here like, nah. At least the main stories are good. That's like what I play the games for now, really, is whenever they make new main story. Because the events suck, the lack of game mode sucks. But the core gameplay is fine, the art design is fine, the voice acting is fine, the music is fine, the new stories are always really enjoyable. It's just we get main stories so much rarer than we used to, so that can be kind of frustrating. Oh hey, our levels aren't cut in half here for some reason. I shouldn't have done this combo then. When they do stuff like the gift box animation update, they're basically doing that to act like they're doing something, but they're not actually doing anything. I mean, they literally drew the mailbox. They just drew the mailbox 2 more times, right? And it's a very simple design. I mean, that's nothing. Like that's literally nothing. That's like one guy, like one of your artists, probably did that in like an hour. So it's like, wow, really putting in the effort here. And I was really hoping that Genshin Impact would get them off their ass, and I guess it's too soon to say, like any kind of change in attitude or hiring practice or any of that stuff, that's not going to have been taking effect by now. It would take a while for you to see. If they started like, you know, putting more effort into things, you're not going to see that for a while. But yeah, I hope it gets them off their asses, but I don't know. Like their profits have been going down. They've been making less money. Which I'm not surprised by, because their competition is fiercer than ever. I mean, seriously, dude, so many people are like trying to get a slice of that pie. So their competition is fierce as all hell. And then while their competition is getting more fierce, they're being lazier for some fucking reason. So it's absolutely no surprise that their profits have been going down. And then like, God, their over-reliance on CGI is just, it scares me. Like, it just, like, that's such a bad sign. Like, it's like, anytime anything takes any degree of effort to animate, they always make it CGI instead. Every time. It's like, that is not a vote of confidence. That's kind of the industry at large, though, with the exception of certain companies. Like, just the anime industry does that now. Like, literally any time, you know, just the tiniest thing might be an inconvenience. Like, oh, nope, just CGI that. Like, this character's, like, turning in a 360 So we gotta make that CGI instead of actually animating that many frames. It's sad, dude. What gacha game do you want to take over in base case scenario? I mean, really, I want FGO to just get off their ass and do better, because I like FGO and I like the Fate franchise and I like the story and I like the music and I like the... So it's like, I'm totally fine with FGO, you know, staying at the top, but they're not gonna. I mean, they've been getting their ass kicked by Dragon Ball Z, for God's sakes, recently, and like everything else too, so... But really, any game, I don't even care. It's like, it comes down to... You know, subjectively, of course, there's certain designs and gameplay and stuff that I care about, but in terms of like who deserves the money, I'm like, whoever puts in the most effort. Like, whoever has the right business model and respects their player base and you know, knows how to balance business with you know, PR and all these things, whoever does it the best deserves the money. So I will say, yeah, that is something I do like about FGO a lot, is no gear. You know, they don't have this. I'm telling you though, that's just because FGO is an old game, right? The whole gear meta didn't exist back then, right? When FGO was created. I think if FGO was created today, they absolutely would have put gear, because it's easy. There's a reason every goddamn game does it. There's a real reason. It's because it takes very little effort on the development side, and it adds this huge treadmill that gets people playing like forever, right? So it's like everyone does it, with the exception of like, I don't know, Arknights maybe. Until that food game starts topping that, I know, right? Yeah, what was that? Food Fantasy? And you know, every once in a while a game uses gear well, but that's normally like a 20-year-old game, so it's pretty rare. So far, I think Genshin Impact has done a pretty good job with gear. It's not like Epic 7, it really isn't. But it's still, like, it does use gear in a way where it's like, it's, you know, a lot of side grades and different, you know, choices to be made and stuff. But the way you acquire it, it's still kind of just a carrot on a stick. And especially because there's so many tiers to the gear, just like everything else. It's not like, oh, hey, you get this one type of gear, and when you got it, the character's good to go. It's like, no, then you have this version of it, and this version of it, and this version of it, right? It's not as bad as Epic 7, because Epic 7 just adds so much RNG. It gets a bit ludicrous, where Genshin Impact doesn't, but still. But I really like that about FGO. It's like, if you get a new unit in FGO, it's like you just get them to max level, and then you level up their skills. That's it! Then they're in-game ready. They're ready to do challenge quests, they're ready to do main story stuff, they're ready to solo, whatever, right? You just get them to their max level and get their skills up. And that's all. And then there's things you can do beyond that if you want to make them like stronger than they're supposed to be, like Grails and 2K Foe and all that kind of stuff. But none of that is necessary, and it's like a bonus you do to your favorites. And everybody I don't think anyone complains about that. I think that's nice. It's like, oh, hey, I have extra things to work on for my favorite units. No one's like, oh my god, I have to grind out 2K foes constantly to give to all my units. That's not a thing. You can't grind them, and of course you're only giving them to like your top dogs. Yeah, I mean, I've seen the way Genshin Impact does it. It's like, you know, they make it harder to get the sets that you want, but in comparison to Epic 7, that's nothing. Like, that's literally nothing. Like, in Genshin Impact, it can take a spell to get that one set drop that you want. But once it drops, you might get the wrong set bonus, so it still might take a second, but it's not that bad. In fucking Epic 7, it's like, okay, first off, the stage basically never drops gear ever. And when it does, it's probably the wrong gear slot. And then when it is the right gear slot, it's probably the wrong set bonus. And then when it is the right set bonus, it's probably the wrong main stat. And then when it is all those other things, then it's the wrong off stat. And then when it is the right stats and you level it, it levels the wrong stats, because that's a thing. Like, it is so much worse in Epic 7. Like, Genshin Impact is a fucking breeze on gearing compared to Epic 7. I'm like, this is fucking nothing. It's like, you farm a bit, you get the thing done, you're done. That's it, right? It's not like, okay, now you have to farm that same thing like 30 more times and the drop rate basically doesn't exist. Have fun, right? Like, it's just not even comparable. Like, the way Genshin Impact is designed right now is basically like a placeholder in-game to give people something to do while they make more content, right? It's not even necessary to like do the stuff that they're making, right? That game is way more about exploration and blah, 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 blah. And min-maxing your gear is not, as of right now, is not even important. I think Arknights does a lot of things right. I think Arknights and when it comes to like stat progression and those things, I think Arknights and FGO do really well. And something I like about Arknights is you can grind like a motherfucker to like Elite 2 people and stuff like that, but you don't actually need to at all. Like everything is beatable before that, and that's kind of their grailing, to be honest. Like you basically grind for grails in Arknights in a way, and that's fine. And like the 1 to 3 stars are all fine. There's no gear in Arknights whatsoever. You have lots of game modes. The leveling progression is totally fine and it's not a big deal. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities I've heard. Everyone says that Epic 7 is really similar to Summoner's War. Honestly, getting a good gear drop in Epic 7 is harder than getting a CE in FGO. Very much so. Like, as Ari said, it's worse, but in a different way. Because, like, you'll get some kind of gear to drop more likely than you would get a CE. But overwhelmingly, it's going to be worthless to you. Like, overwhelmingly, it's going to be an item that's too low level, or it's the wrong set bonus, or, like, overwhelmingly. Like, you don't get gear drop much, but getting good, like, that's, yeah, Fury's saying it much better than I am. Getting gear is easy, getting gear you want is a nightmare, pretty much. And then what I hate so much is sometimes you finally get a piece of gear that's good, and is, like, what you want for the unit you're working on. You're like, oh yes, finally. And then you level it, and basically every few levels, something will level up on the gear. Like one of the substats will get stronger, but it's random. And sometimes the substat you care about the least is literally the only thing that levels. There's no like system to the way it levels, it's totally random. There's like 4 substats, and literally any of them could level. One of them will level at the breakpoint no matter what, but which one it is completely random, and it could be the same one every single time. And so sometimes you have like that one thing on the side bonus that you don't care about too much, and that's the only thing that levels, and then the gear is worthless. So you got such a lucky, awesome piece of gear, and then because the way it leveled up was bad, it's worthless and now it's trash. It's like, oh, great. Like, it's infuriating. I say this a lot, but I really want to articulate this. I actually really like Epic 7, except for the gear. But then the gear, unfortunately, basically dictates everything in the entire game, and that makes me hate the game. Like, there's actually so much I like about Epic 7 in terms of its art design, the unit synergy. There's so much fun unit synergy in that game. Yeah, there's so much I like in that game, but it's just destroyed by gearing. Because not only is the gearing infuriating, but there's so many levels to the gear. It's like you've got gear from level 1 to like 90. Right, so you got like gear at level 70, gear at level 80, gear at 85, gear at 88, gear at 90, and like so then you'll have amazing gear at level 85, and then they added level 90 gear. So now you basically have to try to get that unit on par with everyone else. You have to start getting that gear with those same stats again, which will take like a year, right? And so it never ends. It's a never-ending treadmill. You basically have to constantly grind to be on par with things. And if you're like with the level 70 gear and then you're trying to do X content, it's not good enough and you can't do it. And it's awful. Like I literally can't stand it. I want to love that game, but every time I try to enjoy it, I hate it. Right? It's just the worst. So it's very frustrating. But yeah, that's why I like FGO not having gear. It's handy. Seriously, FGO, if you want to get on par with everyone else, if you want to do the latest and greatest content, you know, you want to fight challenge quests, you know, Zeet or Demeter or whatever, just get people to max level, you know, and then if you want to make it even easier, then get their skills up. That's it. That's it. It's not a big deal. Now, I will say this, though. This is something FGO needs to work on, and it's as the game gets older, it becomes a bigger and a bigger problem, and it's kind of a noticeable issue, I think, now. Because there are more mats than ever now, like how events are not as good as they used to be. Because it used to be events, it wouldn't take very long for an event to have the mat you needed, because there weren't that many mats. So let's say they had just done hero proofs, and you start playing the game right after that, and you need hero proofs. You're gonna see hero proofs again in an event pretty soon, right? And a large amount of them. Where now there's just so many mats, it can take forever to actually get the mats that you need, and then farming them through free quests that you might not have the stage available because you need to get farther in the story and blah 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 because they're not in the dailies because our dailies are trash. Playing catch up can be really annoying in FGO just because they don't have any mechanics in place to actually help players catch up, really. There are ways to help you catch up is like the support system, which sure works, but it doesn't make the game fun. It's like, oh yeah, get carried by Bonten Herc. Yeah, that's awesome. You know, they don't have a method for like, okay, you know, it's harder to get mats now, so we're gonna make getting mats easier. That's the obvious thing to do. That's what most games do. As more mats are introduced into the game, and so as it kind of, you know, dilutes the pool, if you will, they start making specific things have a much higher drop rate, and so it's easier to catch up. Like, imagine how much easier it would be to catch up if there was a stage that had a 100% chance to drop a hero proof, and then, like, you know, a really good chance to drop 2 or 3. That would make catching up a lot easier for people, right? And same for Bones and Void Dust and everything else. Like, yeah, maybe don't do it for the newer mats. So, you know, the new stuff is still premium, if you will, right? But, like, when mats get older, there's no point. You know, no whale that's been playing this game for 5 years is like, oh, no, I need hero proofs. That's generally not a thing. It's the normies and new players. And so there's just no point in making old mats, because old mats are harder to get than they used to be, because they're in events less than they used to be, and you know, so like the pool is diluted. Same for like FP summon. You know, the FP summon is actually more diluted than it used to be because there's more CEs in it now. There's more bronze. Like if you're trying to get Hans to MP5, that's going to take longer now than it used to. Yeah, sure, it's still pretty easy. You know, it's not going to take that long to do, but it's still harder than it used to be. And so like they need to like address that. Like they need to make it easier to catch up, not harder. And they keep literally every patch it gets harder. I'm gonna be right back. I need to get some water. But yeah, it's a bit frustrating because most developers think about this stuff. Because of course you do. Like, you know, most developers are doing everything they can to attract new players. I mean, it's pretty basic business. Like, you know, wow, you want more people to play your game? No shit. Oh, I should have switched in Mozart. That was a mistake. But, so yeah, most companies think about the new player experience. They think about catch-up mechanics. They think about power creep. You know, these things are relevant, right? And DW doesn't do any of that. Like, they've never done anything like that. Ever. When have they ever done any kind of, like, catch-up system that's reasonable, right? They're never like, oh, hey, we're gonna have, like, a newbie FP summon that, like, lowers the things that are in the summon so you can focus on these specific things to get them faster. Like, you know, not having 30,000 useless 3-star CEs, but Leyline is in there, right? Like, you know, they don't ever do stuff like that. They don't ever do stuff like, oh, you know, hey, we're gonna add some. Hey guys, imagine this being in some patch notes. Imagine when they do all these quality of life updates, like, oh hey, we added 2 or 3 new free quests to like Fuyuki and Orleans, and they've got really high drop rates for some nats, right? Imagine that. That's not even hard to do. That's easy as fuck. But no, they can't be bothered. Yeah, I guess Special Ascension. That's their best thing. But that's one unit, right? You get one unit. That's it, right? Their skill levels don't go up. You don't get the max. They don't even go to max level. They just get max ascension. You know, that is something, but that's not much. And it's definitely not good enough. But yeah, I forgot about that, to be honest. The thing is, they have added new free quests that add higher drop rates to old mats, but they put them in quests that are incredibly far into the game. Like if you beat Agartha, you get the one that adds a really high drop rate for the Golem cores. But that's way farther into the game. That's not a good catch-up mechanic at all. It's not that good of a drop rate, it's just better. But like, I'm convinced they're not even thinking about this stuff. They don't think about what the game is like from a new player's perspective. And you don't, what annoys me is every time they address this stuff, they do stuff like the follow system. LOL, now you can summon anybody's Bonten Herc, right? Or LOL Max Ascension, so now you can be way over leveled for Orleans. That's not fun. That's lazy. That's like the, oh, we don't want to actually deal with this, so we'll just make sure any new player can beat the content. Not that it's going to be a good experience. Not that they're going to, you know, get to see variety and fun gameplay. No. Just have some lazy band-aid, you know, beat everything button. That no one enjoys that. I've recently known several people that have gotten into FGO and be like, wow, this game is boring. and it's because the early game is just a joke. You know, they haven't done anything to spice it up. It's so easy to over-level it now. Because for Orleans was designed for day one FGO when there was no dailies. No one on their support list would be level 90. You could only summon someone's leader slot. You know, the only real way to get XP was the FP summon and free quests. That was it, right? So everyone was like level 10, right? But now that it's the game, you know, Orleans isn't like that anymore, right? The game's really different now. And the reason FGO was like that in the early days is because there was no in-game. When the game first came out, Septum was your in-game. The game was over after Septum, right? So they made everything a lot slower. Like, of course they did, right? And that's how kind of Genshin Impact is right now. Like, it's a lot slower to acquire gear because you don't have all that other stuff. FGO now has a million stories and side stories and main interludes and all this other nonsense. So they obviously don't, you know, handicap your XP gain and all that stuff anymore, which is fine. But then they need to, you know, make the early game better, and they need to make catch-up mechanics that don't make the game a joke and boring. And if you're going to be like that, if you're going to like, you know what, guys, let's just let people breeze through the early game and make it really easy so no one's going to get stuck, then just let them skip it. If you're going to make the early game that boring and dumb, you should let people just, you know, start a new account and start with a few basic units with, like, you know, like David's leveled up already, and like maybe he's level 60 or 50 or whatever, but his skills are like 666, and you know, a few other core units, and you just start them an Epic of Remnant and Lost Belt. If you're gonna be that fucking boring with it, you might as well do that, right? Like, that's lame, and I wouldn't say do it that way, but Jesus Christ, that's better than expecting like, how can you expect a new player to pick up the game and just autopilot summon a friend's Hercules and beat everything? Like, that's going to be fun. Like, that's going to encourage them to want to play this game. Of course that's not going to work, right? And that's what Vandictus did. Vandictus started having similar problems to FGO with, like, getting new players into it and, like, how much in-game there was and how much content you had to get through to get there. So instead of, like, streamlining it or making it funner or harder or more interesting, like maybe making leveling faster but then also making the content more interesting, they just did what FGO did, and they basically, oh yeah, now you can just, like, autopilot breeze through all of it and just slog through it, right? But nobody wants to do that because it's not engaging and it's boring. Yeah, no, it's like, the game is not good until Camelot. You know, maybe America. Everything before that is a joke, right? It can be fun if, like, you don't overlevel and stuff, you know, like the Demon Pillar in Oceanus. That can be a fun boss that requires you to think about some things mechanically and whatnot. But only if you don't overlevel it, right? And the game basically encourages you to overlevel now. God, Phantom, dude. Imagine this, guys. Imagine one of those quality of life patches that they put out, and instead of it saying we gave an animation update to the fucking mailbox, imagine if it said, hey, we reduced the mat requirements on some older units, you know, like Benkei and Phantom of the Opera, who have ludicrously high mat requirements for no reason, and then anyone that had already leveled those, we refunded them. They've already done systems like that. They're capable of refunding things like that. It's not actually that hard to do. Imagine that. Imagine a quality of life update, like, hey, some of the older units that blatantly had like too high of mat requirements, we lowered them. They're not so bad anymore. And then for those that already leveled them, we'll give you the, you know, the difference, you know, back in your mailbox. And that, imagine that! That's a great PR move, makes it better for new players. Like, imagine Phantom only requiring like a couple of dust instead of, you know, like 50 or whatever the fuck. I remember people hyping up America to be so much better than the previous chapters when it comes to NA, and then I was disappointed. Yeah, I've always felt that way too, Ari. I've seen a lot of people that are like, oh no, America's when it gets better. I don't really agree. I don't think America's I think it's slightly better, right? Like, at least it has like factions and some fighting happens off, you know, like that doesn't involve you. But it's still really ABC. It's not very interesting. The characterization is still unbelievably basic. You know, there's no, like, character arcs other than Mev being a bitch, right? Like, so it's like, it's not really any better. And the gameplay is not much better either. Camelot is absolutely when the game gets better. And even Camelot, I think, is overrated, right? I think the premise of Camelot is cool, like the factions with the, you know, Richard the Lionheart and Camelot and the Egyptian stuff. And that's all cool. But it's still not told very well. It's still very janky, and there's a lot of exposition and like, oh, LOL, we have to have an excuse to fight this random sand dude every 5 minutes. Oh no, there's a Soul Eater suddenly, right? Like all that. No, there's still so much of that. It's just garbage. I don't really think they started getting better about that kind of stuff until like a Babylon and then like Lost Belt 1 and stuff. I think Lost Belt 1 is such a noticeable improvement in terms of storytelling. I know a lot of people don't like Lost Belt 1 in terms of like the characters it focused on and like the way the plot unfolded, and that's fine. But I think in terms of actual storytelling and not being a janky piece of crap, that is such a noticeable improvement. Yeah, I really like Lost Belt 1. I like it a lot. Now, obviously, somewhat unbiased because it focused on a lot of my favorite characters and it actually characterized them well. Like, I've always said I've always been annoyed with the APOC anime because it, like, cut all of the VC Braun stuff. They don't even mention, like, his regrets about his master and, like, all that stuff, even though it's in the books. But, you know, the game actually covered that stuff. So, like, you know, in Billy, you know, focused on Beowulf, Billy, a VC Braun, you know, of course I like a Lost Belt 1, but the thing is, just because it has characters that I like, that doesn't make me like it. Because there's been other stories that have characters I like in them, but I'm like, yeah, these are trash, because it uses them poorly, or they're not used at all, or the writing is crap, or nothing is explained, and it's just random video game nonsense. Lost Belt 1 is one of the first stories like, okay, this is actually pretty fleshed out. There's character arcs, there's motivations, people have beginning, middles, and ends. You know, some of the fighting is actually explained instead of this sprite shakes and that sprite shakes and oh, it died, right? Like, it was way better about that kind of stuff. I'm really hoping as they continue on, they, you know, improve on that stuff. Yeah, VC Braun was awesome. Like, I've always liked VC Braun. He's always been one of my favorite characters. But he's only been characterized well in the APOC books. And then I would say now in Lost Belt 1. But until then, he had never really been, you know, shown off properly because the anime was just like... Why are we fighting a ruler? Who the fuck is a ruler in Salem? Is this one of those like story? Oh, this is when this is like the play or whatever. This is when we fight all the Joan of Arc spam nonsense. This is actually a really hard stage to solo just because of the nonsense you're fighting. I don't think it's gonna be hard on a team though. Berserker is obviously the way to go here. Let's use one that's not level 100 and gonna absolutely destroy everything. And does chat want? I mean, if chat want, I mean, we can do Horse Bendo if people want, because he could probably solo this. I've never tried, but I imagine he can. Caligula, I don't think Caligula would do so good here. If someone has like a really pimped out Caligula, I'll try to. We're not gonna solo with him, that won't work. But I'll try to do a team setup for him if somebody's got him. The shitty part is I don't have a lot of like I would need like Shakespeare and stuff, but I do have Qin Gong, so that helps. Mori would be fine here, but we do Mori setup so often I don't really see the point. Like you could easily have Mori turn 1 like Jolter, then NP, the ruler, and just so on. Like Mori wouldn't be a problem. I don't know why people want Mori so much. I mean, I love Mori, he's like my favorite, but I'm surprised Chad always wants Mori. Although, I guess to be fair, lately we've been using Mori for a content he's not actually really designed for, and that's been kind of frustrating. It'd be nice to use Mori for something he's actually, you know, designed for. Spartacus would be really good. Canis, Gajuna. Man, people want like everything. Ku can solo this actually. He could solo it before he even got buffed way back in the day. Which is actually kind of hard. Oh, hey, my ult account just got its login streak, so it just got 30 SQ. That's nice. Yeah, wait, use Darius. I like, now that idea I kind of like. Yeah, chat's pretty split on this. Let me think. Okay. So I feel like, Canis we use all the time, and we can find other times for her. So no Canis. I feels bad, but like, I mean, come on now. We use Canis a lot. Same for Mori. Mori's great and everything, and this truly is a time for Mori. This is a good stage for him, but I can make a poll. Okay, fuck it, go for it. Whatever you think, like, you've been seeing a lot in chat, just slap it on there. We'll be democratic for once. No, not Kiyohime. I'm banning that one. That I'm blackballing. Fuck that. I think you could make her work here. Like any AoE berserker, you could probably make work here. Put Vlad. Actually, maybe. I don't know if we have anyone with Vlad. Isn't Ares Vlad on NA? So I'm not sure we can actually do it. This stage isn't hard enough that if we want to do something OP, it's fine. And also, as we get further in the game, you can let go of restrictions, right? I think the only restriction we really need to keep at this point is no Merlin, no Waver, you know, that kind of thing. Other than that, now that we're this far in, I don't think it really matters. you know, and there's certain bosses will be like, oh yeah, you could really trivialize this boss if you use this specific unit, so I might not do that. But aside from that kind of, you know, stuff, I don't really care anymore. This account's more about having fun. Frankenstein, I like never use her. She's decent though. Hey, I don't think this is gonna be torture. I think this is gonna be easy. This ain't gonna be so bad. Oh, Horse Bindo coming out strong right now. Darius is coming back though. Darius got that buff recently, so he's better than ever. I think it's gonna be Darius or Horse Bindo. Vlad. Vlad. Alright. I'll boot up my Horse Bindo here. I've been wanting to use him anyway. It's pretty cool. Alright. Well, it's like, because Canis is one of the characters I like anyway, I use her pretty often, right? So we get plenty of that shenanigans as is, so it's kind of nice to try something different. The nice thing about Canis, though, and this, I think this is probably why Zaw said it, is because this is a stage that you can kind of show off, right? If you're a Berserker, you're not going to really show off in this stage, because it's not a super hard stage, and Berserker is like the meta thing anyway, so of course they're going to beat it easy. Where Canis isn't actually meta here. An AoE unit is, but you know, Lancer, Archer, Saber, none of that stuff is particularly meta here. And so if they do really well anyway, that shows how good they are, right? It's kind of hard for a Berserker to show off when Berserkers are, you know, you might say, well, you know, but aren't you supposed to use what's favored? Yeah, if the content's a lot harder, right? Like, if it's a really hard challenge quest, where like a Berserker is obviously meta, you can still show off how good a Berserker is if the stage is really, really hard, right? But if it's not, then it's like, eh. Darius did pretty good there, though. I actually really do like the idea of Darius. He's quite fun since his buff. Alright, let's see. Definitely gonna put in Qin Gong. No doubt on that one. I think there's some really minor gimmicks here. I think they have defense up or something. And then the next time you fight them, they have like debuff resistance or something like, or I don't remember. There's some bullshit like that. I think they have defense up here, which actually makes the ruler one quite tanky if you are like a Lancer or a Saber or whatever. Maybe we go. I could give Qin Gong K-Scope. This actually is kind of a time that you could do some cycling, but I don't have that many supports on this account. Shakespeare would be really nice here. Mozart's still okay. Wrong card type, but free crit is always a good thing. How much do I need to focus on defense, though? Maybe I do that instead. Maybe I do mash, too. Okay, that's more reasonable. We're gonna want to kill a Lancer pretty fast, then. I don't know if we actually need Anniversary Blonde. Alright, let's see how we do. I love when people Sanson themselves. It's like, it's so rare. Ari, was that an ASDF reference? Maybe. Always like throw the cheese when fighting Mev. Okay. Man, I remember these used to be actually kind of hard for Ku back in the day. Just because of like the defense up, but then like they're going, you know, because he's single target and not AoE. You know, they'd get some of their NPs out and all that kind of stuff. You had no prep time. When you fight them with trash mobs, it was actually kind of easier because you had prep time. On this one, you had no prep time, so it was actually kind of nasty. But now, that was before Q even had his NP buff. And he still did it. He still did it. He got it just fine. But nowadays, it'd just be like a joke. Like, you just absolutely destroy it now. Alright. Part of me wants to taunt him and use his evade, but it's kind of too late for that. I think we kind of just use a filler turn here. Wait, I should have saved that because she actually does cast Invulnerability. We'll probably kill Joan of Arc before she does her Invulnerability, but Jolter will do it when she gets kind of low. So I probably shouldn't have done that. But crits though. I feel I know I said this last time and then they buffed Ku anyway, but I truly do not think they are gonna buff Ku again until they buff a bunch of other things. Like maybe they do buff Ku again, but I don't think they would do it until they do buff Proto Ku and stuff like that. Like I know I said that last time, but seriously, you can only like do so much. They really can't buff Ku again. I mean, it was dumb enough last time. They really can't do it again. Like it's just too stupid to do it again. All right, let's see here. We can NP next turn. Go big or go home. I almost want to NP with Hans just to, so he does. We have the buffs for next turn. Holy crap! We didn't even buff that much, and the boss has the defense up, which is pretty big. It's a pretty decent defense up. Okay, well, I think we might be wanted for murder now. Yep, pretty straightforward with Horse Bendo here. This was not too hard. That is ridiculous. And that's with a defense up gimmick. Like they have a nice chunky defense up gimmick here. Well, that was easy. I mean, to be fair, he is bigger than all three of them combined, right? So, I mean, he's got more arms than enemies. Alright, I think you fight them again, and this one will be like even easier because they just have like a like debuff resistance or something. Let's do Darius for this one because Darius is just level 70, and you know they're even easier this time, and that was so easy it was kind of a joke. So we'll dial it back a little bit here. He's got like 6 swords, never stood a chance, alright? Does he have a character material book? Because if he does, I have not read it. Now, we want our NP pretty much ASAP. If we want a crit, we're gonna have to use Anniversary Blonde, but we can probably get away with that. He does? Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. I've not read it. I remember reading some, like, the character material segments for, like, some of the other people from Lost Belt 3, but I don't think I ever read his. I don't even remember seeing it. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is like mental debuff resistance or all debuff resistance, and if it's 100% or 50, I don't know what it is, but it's some kind of debuff resistance, and that is absolutely not as good as a defense buff. And unless I guess you're fighting an enemy that just has super nasty debuffs, but that's not the case. Part of me wants to use Guts and then put Taunt on him so he gets his NP right away, but it's probably not necessary. Kind of soon for the heal, but I'm like, I might as well throw it out and just get the defense buff. And before no defense buff. Okay. I probably should have taunted Darius then, no reason not to. He's tanky enough that he'd been fine. Especially with Guts. Like with Guts there's no way he would have died. Wow, his art card's in the third hand, so. When you want to kill things, but the game says no. Wow, his NP gains for getting attacked is pretty high there. I mean, obviously she has a high hit count, but damn. Okay, let's see. Put a target split here. Obviously, it's better to do the Buster attack after you apply the defense down, but if you want to target switch, this is the only way. Okay, well, one of them, yeah, she's dead. I really wanted, fuck, that was so much overkill damage. I wanted the little one to be dead, and there it is. But yeah, I wanted the little one to be dead, so then we would attack Jolter with the quick, I mean with the art and extra, but that didn't happen. Really, I could put this on Darius and you get his NP again, but that's not necessary. Imagine if she'd cast it again. Wow, this hand sucks. Hans though, damn it. If he had crit, he might have killed there. RIP! Okay, we probably should have taunted Darius. Still has Guts, by the way. Alright. Hans just taking a nap, it's fine. That could have gone so much smoother if the deck had been better. Okay, now I think you fight them with a bunch of trash mobs first. Which that's kind of a cool fight because, I tell you, this fight is so easy to solo if you're a unit that just has a lot of like Buster, like normal card damage, because none of the enemies have a lot of health. So you can switch waves frequently, and then, dude, I have seen this throughout FGO's life. People always think stages like this are like super hard to solo because there's so many enemies, but they're actually some of the easier stages to solo, especially for units like Ku-Ulter, because there's just a bunch of, you know, not so strong enemies that you can just blow up without needing an NP if you're like a Buster deck. And then because you're switching screens so often, you're getting free turns off your cooldowns. I remember having to explain this to people like years ago. Like people were like, "Oh my god, it's like so hard to solo this stage," because someone had soloed it and they're like, "Oh my god, that's so amazing." And I was like, "Actually, it's quite easy to solo because every time the screen switches, you get your cooldowns back." And it's like, it's really not that hard, right? Now, it's hard for certain styles of unit, sure, but ultimately stages like this are not that hard to solo because you just get so much like cooldown back. And this is why break bars are a thing now, by the way. We can pretty much use whatever the hell you want. So if I remember correctly, you fight them, I think, one at a time, and they have like a side one with them or something like that. And isn't Amakusa here or something stupid? I can't quite remember. I think Gilius is here. You fight like the whole shtick. I know you fight Joan of Arc like vanilla last. So, but I think it doesn't like really matter. I think you fight the Lancer one first. Alright, let's see. So Berserker's probably the meta thing to do, but it's kind of boring. I kind of want to do something spicier to make it harder. Like, use a normal class or something like that. But who? Or whom, or whatever. I actually feel like using a Grailed Robin, but, I don't think we have any of those right now. Ooh, that's tempting. Billy could be fun. Alright, I tell you what. I need to get like way more water because I'm drinking it like a madman. So I'm gonna get more water. If Ari is up to it, we'll have Ari make a poll. I'm gonna leave it to her discretion. She can put whatever the fuck she wants in the poll. She can be democratic, whatever. So you can just make some dumbass poll, and I'm gonna go with whatever we get, assuming we can actually summon the thing. So try to keep it somewhat reasonable. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get water. I'm gonna run to the restroom and stuff. So I'll give you a second, and we'll see what happens. Everyone's fan. I'm gonna already see it. So, you know what would be funny? I doubt this happened, but I think it would be funny if Ari just picked all units like, you know, Landling and shit like that. That would be kind of funny. Alright, what do we got, chat? Do we not have a poll yet? Why do I see people saying Kiara? That's awful. Now see, if Poi Poi was here, this would be his chance. He's always trying to get me to use Trap Face, and I never do. But if it won the poll, I would do it. So this would be his moment, but sadly, I don't think he's here. Fucking Kiara, dude. Yeah, let me just summon my level 1 Summer Kiara. That'll work. Twitch being mean to me? Yeah, no rush, no rush. Take your time. I got a banana, it's all good. I could probably make Ongra work here. I feel like my account could handle the start and you put Ongra at the end. You could probably make that work decently well. Well, technically it's not in P2 because I haven't actually fused them. I haven't bothered to do that, so. I tell you, if I ever, I really will do this eventually just for like, so chat can have fun with stupid crap. Because I don't need rare prisms anymore, right? I'm at the point, I just don't need rare prisms. And for fuck's sakes, they just gave out 5 rare prisms on JP because of Nightingale, right? So if I ever got to the point where every single thing that I wanted to level in my account was leveled, and then I have like a stockpile in my bank for like new units built up, I would level stupid crap that chat just wanted me to level just cuz, right? That gives chat, you know, a chance to have more fun, but that's very low priority right now, so no trap face for y'all. It's not on my account anyway. Alright, what do we got? Oh god, Ari, what are these fucking options? Mev? That's the worst one. Oh, well, I don't know if it's the worst. That's about the worst one. Looks like everyone's going with fucking Kiara, though. I'm really glad Mev has 0 fucking votes. That would... Fuck that. That was a creative choice, though. And Phantom. You know what? Phantom would have been good. I'm serious. Phantom would have been good because that would have been hard as fuck. Can you... This account is trash. Look at this account. Like, look at this. Like, what the fuck is this account gonna do with Phantom? It'd be awful. Alright, well, it looks like Kiara, of all things, is winning, because apparently that's like chat's champion in like Cairo's stream and everything for some fucking reason, so. Alright, so do we use someone's Kiara that's worth a fuck, or do we use the worthless one that I have? The worthless one would definitely be harder, because, that's basically a nothing unit. But that's not fun either, though. It's like a dead... No one wants to see me use Kiara and have Kiara do nothing, right? Well, maybe someone does want that, I don't know. That's what Phantom is for, though. Use a good one? Yeah, I think using a good one is better. Because, like, if it was up to me, I'd use the worthless one and kill her off in turn 1, and then just move on with my life, right? But nobody wants that. Okay, let's see what we got to pick from here. Do I have it, like, do I have my normals in on my friends list on this account? I don't know if I have Faust and Lost and everyone on this account, so I don't know. Let's see what we got here. Okay, there's one. 10, 10, 10. That's good. And so, is that the summer one? So we can do summer or normal. I literally don't care. It's like the same shit to me. So I guess whatever chat wants. These are both strong enough that it's fine either way. I think that's the summer one, right? Good God, is that stage 3 though? Oh God. I can't. Oh, you have to hold the button down. Oh no, okay, that's stage 1. Never mind, I thought that was stage 3, and I was like, dear God. Alright, let me look at chat here. It looks pretty split between normal and summer. I'm trying to think. I guess the summer one would make it easier by a lot, because Moon Cancer's actually fine here, where Alter Ego is shit here, so I guess we'll see. You probably don't need another poll. I have an idea. I could use a random number generator to pick 5 servants and put them in a poll for chat to pick. That would be awesome. We should especially... Ari, that is an amazing idea for like a whole gimmick. Like, especially if we ever play like our main account or an account that has a lot of units. That could be a really fun thing to do, is like throw some randomness into like teams. Like if they ever, I don't know, added story replay. Like, hey guys, let's do Camelot and, you know, random number generator this. That's definitely something to keep in mind, because that could be a lot of fun, I think. I am so surprised Chad is going with Summer Kiara, because Summer Kiara is much better for this stage. I truly think Summer Kiara is less of a thought than regular Kiara. Like, they didn't really make her that thoughty. Like, I mean, she's a thought still, but, like, dear God, like, her NP is the tamest thing on the planet. Alright, I think Summer's got this. I'm truly surprised Chad is going with Summer Kiara because like, this is going to be way easier. Alright, so I'm not going to be a dick. So now, I'm not going to lie, I kind of should have done this. I'm not going to do it now, but what I should have done is I should have done all this, act like chat has like influence and stuff, and then you do this, and then you do that. And you don't even say anything, you just do that. And then you just move on with the stage. That would have been kind of amazing, but I won't do that. But one of these days, I mean, you know, Chen Gong, man, he's pretty handy. All right, let's see. All right, we have to bring her because that's like the gimmick. Gotta get that bond. So she's art. Here, I need to look at her skills again. Alright, she's got that whole bullshit of like leveling her skills up thing. Alright, pretty short cooldowns for the most part. God, pretty sure skills are so weird. Like, who came up with this? It's so whack. Alright, has anti-debuff, yada yada. Has guts, that's probably the most important thing here. And it can give evade. Okay. Probably try to... I don't know if Mozart's good, though. This is a really long-term stage. Mash isn't bad. I would say Bedivere if I had him leveled. Yeah, honestly, her kit doesn't look that bad. I just don't like Kiara, so... I'll give credit to the voice actress, though. She does a good job. She pretty much does with all of the roles that she does. She actually has all kinds of range. She plays characters, like, all over the fucking map. Ari, that's amazing. I love that idea. There's so much, especially on accounts that have more units. You could literally make a whole team through a number generator. Although I do think it's more fun if you don't make literally everything random. You make like half the team random or whatever, and then you try to make the streamer salvage it, right? You have other units to like try to fix the problem, if you will. Like going full random is not that fun because then you're not really even playing the game, right? You need a degree of control still. But you do a nice chunk of randomness could definitely make some weird team comps. So I'm thinking either mash or something to just do damage right off the bat. Because I want to say the first wave is like Amakusa and Lily, I think. And then it's like Jolter and Gilius Castor or something. And then I think it's like Saber Gilius and Joan of Arc. I think that's what it is. So you could put a Berserker in the front. Or a Saber. I don't really have great options in that department. Bedivere would really be the way, but we don't got that. Yeah, for now, that's fine, Ari. But like, we could obviously do more with it than that in the future, but yeah, for now, that's fine. Honestly, Ku's not that bad in the front. But I guess I had to try to make Kiara work as much as possible, because that's kind of the point. I honestly don't hate that, though. If you got a good turnout at the start, that could be really good. And you can just die in cycle. So the second one is the problem. I almost want a writer than... I mean, we could try to make Kiara, like, the main DPS for the whole thing. Except for Herc in the back, but that's because we kind of have to do that. Okay, let's try this. This is decent. I tell you, man, Hans, David, Mash, Chin Gong, Mozart, those are such good backbone servants to just give you some support that is pretty flexible. Like, it's really useful. I have no idea what to give Mozart here. It's okay. Okay, we're not gonna have him live that long. Like, that's kind of the idea. Could do NP charge on death. What's her NP gain like? Okay, so her first skill is the one that gives you the rank up, right? God, this is a lot of nonsense. Okay, her battery is really big. So I don't think we need NP on death. Well, we could NP and try to NP again immediately, and so it's not bad. And the Star Bomb is just totally random. Fuck it, we'll go with RNG though, you never know. I don't think there's debuffs of note here, so default is fine. Alright, let's see what happens. Okay, well I was correct about the opening, except there's also a deer here for some reason. And she has quick resistance. I definitely didn't remember that. Let me guess. Jolter's got Buster resistance, and then it's art resistance at the end. That would be my guess. The shtick. Alright. God, her toolkit is so bizarre. How soon do I want to NP? Pretty soon. So our NP by default is 30% if it's not leveled. I think we want to like NP on like turn 2 or 3, and then try to use our second skill, and then like be ready again. Could crit right now, but I don't think it's necessary. I'll do art up though because I don't really need the art up for anything else. Okay, round the money. So I think we use our... So if I use the third skill now, that eats up our level up thing, and I don't want that. But I do want the other things on it, though. Oh, they're not worth. Oh, fuck. That's right, her NP's art. Why was I thinking her NP wasn't art? I should have saved the art up. Well, we'll do this. It'll probably be back by the time we need it. Okay, this will be fine. Yeah, this is fine. I got it. You're an American, alright? I mean, it was alright. It could have been better, but I mean, we didn't have the art up and we didn't have the third skill either, so. It would have been cool if we could have killed there, though, because we could have then just NP'd the next wave. Ooh, that's not good. If I can NP again right now. That's kind of wasteful, though. How long does our thing linger? So many questions, because I don't use this fucking unit. I think we just do it because otherwise we're gonna be stuck on the ruler for a while. Amakusa might be a problem. I might want to throw another DPS on the front so we can kill him. Otherwise Kiara might die really early on and then it just ends up being a Herc thing and that's not the idea. We might be alright though. Kinda depends on what our hand is like coming up. Oh, I see. She keeps applying it. So we could have done that pretty differently. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, there is no Amakusa here. What am I talking about? It's this mysterious masked individual. So as far as I'm aware, this version of Kiara is basically a, I mean she always is, but is, you know, super obsessed with the Little Mermaid and is basically a magical girl now for some fucking reason. Alright, he has 5,000 health. If we don't kill him, we're completely fucked, but we should be able to kill him. Mash got the damage here. Did Mash just do the 5k? I think so. Be fine. Dude, Hans' new voice line for her is so fucking funny. Can we just get I really feel like every time they have that voice actor in the studio, they should have him record like 1 or 2 voice lines for Hans. Just talking about literally any servant. Like just throughout over time, they should just eventually give him like the most voice lines in the game. It's so he's so worth it, right? Like and a lot of times you have servants that kind of have their thing that could totally be his thing, and that would be pretty great. Did I level up her second skill enough that it would allow me to NP right now? I don't think so. Maybe? Fuck it, we're gonna try. Oh, god damn it. Oh, god damn it. Literally one more skill rank, and that would have worked. Well, that's gonna like waste our, I think that's the last turn of our rank up thing. Although no, the reapplying it will be gone, but the rank up will linger. Okay. That's nice that it works that way. It doesn't matter if you speak Japanese or not. I mean, you can get the translation right there. His laugh is so good in that voice line. All right, NP time. Do this. Do this, even though we don't need the evade, but I want the defense down and everything. I will say that is an interesting toolkit, especially because the way they have like the rank ups linger. That's kind of neat. That NP is so dumb though. Wow! Jesus Christ! I didn't think we were gonna do that much damage, and like we didn't have that. Oh, my God, imagine we still had Mozart out and stuff. Wow. Okay then. Okay, art resist now. She's not gonna be nearly as good anymore. And let's maybe it's not that big of an art up. We'll see. So whenever I get around to leveling the things that I don't like, I would probably level like Serenity first, and then like Kyohime, and then last. Uriel would be last of the 3 stars, like literally the last one. And then I'd move on to golds. That's not going to be for a while though. What's her overcharge? Death chance. That is crap. So we'll overcharge from. I probably should have had match taunt and do her art card, because then she'd get her NP again, which would be helpful. My Fion's already leveled. He's 10 10 10. Dude, I got my Fion 10 max level 10 10 10 so fast. So I like how we're just healing so much. Like, Jesus, wow, their damage output though, that was impressive. Wow, we did fucking nothing to Joan of Arc there. That was total nothing damage right there. I'd be very happy if she could have crit there, but what are you gonna do? I'm assuming that she has not done her NP buff because she is a nub. Shoutouts to Siegfried and CCC actually doing his buff. Pretty rare that they do that. It mashes NP. And now we wait. Does she stun? Yep. Feels like 4 years ago, man. Oh, we have so many rank ups, it's ridiculous. Our next turn is gonna be nice. It's not gonna be nice. Oh right, when Gileas dies, they lose the resistance thing, so she doesn't have art resistance anymore. Yeah, their Joan of Arc's like, what's an interlude? So this is so nice because if she lives, which she probably will, we can just NP again, I'm pretty sure. And the next turn we get our attack up back, so that's pretty handy. Although our refund's not going to be as good because we're only hitting one enemy, but still. That damage was not great, but it was better than before. Damn it! You bitch! I was gonna do the thing and, you know, maybe get the attack up. Fuck, we can't loop. Boo! I could art chain and everything, but they've fucking ruined Hans. You bastards! I have to imagine she is really disgusting if you use her with Castoria or Hohenheim, Nero Bride, you know, that kind of thing. It's probably pretty busted. I gotta say though, even if you're using it, because you know a lot of accounts are not gonna have access. You know, like this account could not do that. If I was gonna summon Kiara, I'm not gonna have access to Castor Toria. We don't have Hohenheim leveled yet. We don't have Nero Bride. Right? We don't have access to any of that stuff. It's just not possible. But she's still looping just fine. I mean, it's not hard to get a lot of NPs out of her, have a lot of survivability out of her. She works just fine with Hans and Mash or David or Mozart, any of that stuff, and obviously Hohenheim if we had him. Well, that was easy. Yeah, still don't like Kiara, but I will say that is kind of neat gameplay, like the whole level up thing, and especially because it lingers even once the first skill's done. That's quite nice, and you can get some interesting min-maxing out of that. I actually have the most fun when you use a unit that's like really strong and capable of doing like bullshit with like OP units, but then use them without the OP units. And they're still good and they still do a lot of stuff, but you have to work a bit harder, and that's always a lot of fun. Yeah, you might as well keep doing the polls, that's fine. We can just keep the gimmicks up. Go nuts. And if you want to like throw, you know, 1 or 2 options in there that are like handcrafted to like what you know chat wants, you can do that too. It doesn't have to be all random. Sometimes we're going to get things, though, that we can't summon because we're going to have nobody in chat that has them, but that's where NA is nice. On NA, we basically have access to everything because the majority of my viewers, you know, play NA, so we have a lot more to pull from. I have no idea what this stage is. This is probably a joke battle. This will work best when we're actually fighting bosses. If it's a total joke battle, we can always solo, too, and things like that, so... MHXA Nursery Rhyme. We got that ourselves, so. Wait, I don't even know who's winning. Who the fuck is that? Oh, is that Awawa? That's right, I forgot. I literally didn't know who that was for a while there. But yeah, I think it's Awawa. I think Lost has her. Oh, I can vote. I'll vote for something random that's not gonna win. It's irrelevant. Alright, looks like Awawa's got this. Fucking Ilya. Alright, who's got one? Summer Musashi's pretty fun too, actually. That's a pretty unique toolkit. I'm sure someone has her. Someone's, because we've had several people roll on last summer, so I'm assuming someone's got her. Am I about to be disappointed? In all? Okay, Lost got her back. Oh boy. That's a scuffed unit right there. Oh great, and this is one of those times where our level's cut in half. Hopefully this isn't an actual boss fight, because this is gonna be, we're using a fucking, look at this, we're using a low, NP1 444 Rider versus a Berserker. Like, yeah, that makes sense. All right, I don't remember her toolkit at all. Let me look this up. So I have no idea what I'd want to work with here. Oh, she's the latest writer in the game, apparently. Alright, so she's art. Single target. I'm actually glad that she's single target. Right, okay, this is pretty straightforward. Man, if I had Hohenheim, holy crap, that would be good. We probably don't need Hans. Go with another art DPS to synergize, because she's kind of like that, where she gives help to the other DPS, so I think it's more fun to use her, because she can do double art resistance down, like, obviously it's Robin time, so I like that quite a bit. Gotta show off what's unique. See, this will be a lot more fun on my main, because I can cooperate with the bullshit that we get, and with a lot more variety, where this account it's like, so Mash and Hans again, right? Like, that's pretty much the options on this account, so. Let's see. Maybe switch Mystic Code. I just don't want... Maybe start with David and then switch in Mozart. I like that better. Just in case. I'm doing the sin of putting Ku with Herc, but I'm hoping it won't matter. Alright. It's pretty good. Yeah, she's actually kind of nice with Robin. You're like, the only way you're not gonna land the poison is if she doesn't land her her thing, but that gives you like a buffer, so. And then she works with Robin anyway because she's got art resist down. I hope we get a really tanky berserker, but probably not. I'm gonna be really sad if we just fight a bunch of bitches. What is she? What on earth is that? I don't really remember her ascension stages. What the fuck are we wearing? That is so whack. That just looks bizarre. Like that is very bizarre. All right. I can just do this right away. I don't want anyone getting wrecked, and we just get MP gain. This should be pretty... I'm just kind of worried I'm going to kill him too fast, because I didn't get an art chain. I mean, the issue is not really the fact that it's a swimsuit, it's a summer servant. You would kind of expect that. And it's not like swimsuits are not evil or anything, right? Like, it's fine, but why... Like, what is going on? Like, why does it have, like, a dress on the back? Like, what the what? Like, it's so... And you got these weird, like... What the fuck is on the side? It's like bells or something. That's weird, man. Yeah, that's weird. Alright, not doing so hot on the NP gain right now. I mean, if people like it, that's fine. I mean, you know, to each their own and everything. I'm just saying, that's a bit out there for me. Like, the combination of, like, having a dress on a swimsuit is so backwards that it, like, it's pretty odd. This is it? This is it? You're killing me, game. We're gonna literally wait to blow them up, so Robin can get his NP. I should have put more effort into. I should have done Golden Rule forever ago. I'm so disappointed in this stage. Man, that means the target that I won't have the art resist down because they're gonna be dead. Boo. We have so much value and we can't use it. Please hit Robin so I can stop stalling. No, that's David. Oh, and now we get all the Robin NP gain ever. Thanks, game. It's the lowest damage I can do. I'm trying very hard to not kill one of them. Okay. As much as I'd like to do David's NP to make Robin get double overcharge, it's probably cooler if we do it this way. Man, we didn't get to take advantage of her toolkit in the slightest. Like, we didn't get to do anything. We had like 1,000,000% to apply the poison there. Who do we want to see the art card on? I guess her, see what she gains she can get. But man, Dude, you could really get some synergy with her and Robin, especially if you were fighting classes where it made sense, because you could have double art resist down on the same target, just like that, and then like have Mozart come in, guaranteed art crit, you know, have his golden rule up and just instantly get another tree, right? Like you could get pretty wild with that kind of thing. Unfortunately though, the thing she's going to hit with her art card is not going to have the art resistance down, either of them, so you could have a lot more NP game than this. Seriously, cut the dress thing in the back. Get rid of the fucking bells. Why are there bells on it? Like, that would make it way better. Like, what the fuck, dude? This is an example of, like, where less would be more, right? I see this a lot in, like, not... In FGO, whenever they try to make wacky things, there's just too much. Like, wow, okay. That's pretty nice. We had pretty minimal buffs there. But whenever they go all, like, you know... You don't need a million things, right? You don't need bells on your bells, right? Like, keep it simple, stupid. Like, Jesus Christ. Wow, she's still got a lot of NP game back off that, though. Like, why does Calamity Jane need all of the colors, right? Like, why do you need that many colors? So, I looked at Calamity Jane's bio the other day. She doesn't have a character material book yet, but she has a normal gun. It's just not, you don't get it in FGO. But she has a normal gun, and her rainbow gun can fire regular bullets. Poll, I swear it's random. Let's see what we got. Space Ishtar, Cha-Cha, Summer Kiara again, Calamity Jane, and David. David's not gonna win. Feels bad, by the way. I'm not sure we have, well, we probably have someone with Cha-Cha. I've never used Cha-Cha. No, I have. I've used her, I literally have used her for testing her versus, like, Darius and Kiyohime and that kind of thing. That's all I've really ever used her for, though. Feels bad, man. David deserves better than this. We could have done double David. Calamity Jane and Space Ishtar are hanging in there, but I think Cha-Cha's got this. I think if Space Ishtar and Calamity Jane, if those supporters joined forces, they could have won. Right? If they pulled together, they could have won there. But I don't think that's going to happen. Alright, and it's time for the worst Berserker in the game. Thankfully, she's very vanilla. Oh wait, so does anyone have her? I'm hoping someone has her. I would think somebody in here is leveled Cha-Cha, being a welfare and everything. Are you allowed to change your vote? Like, if you voted for one thing, can you change your vote? Because if you can, then you could totally, like, you know, jump ship. If you know your side's gonna lose. Nope, feels bad. I wish you kind of could, because I mean, you could have, like, strategy that way, which would be kind of interesting. Alright, anybody got Cha-Cha? I honestly, maybe not, because she is pretty famous. Okay, there we go. Ace has got her. Because she's pretty famous for not being very good. So, yeah, I wouldn't have been that shocked until I finally leveled her. Okay, we're fighting Berserker's Caster. Cha-Cha is so stupid, dude. God, I'm gonna have to babysit the crap out of her. She does not benefit her teammates with other than the defense down. And it takes a million turns for that to get anywhere. Oh my god. Dude, her second skill is so bad. Her second skill is so fucking bad. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. We'll do like that. Okay, do we bring Ushi to kill the caster, or is that too casual? It's probably too casual. If this was a harder stage, sure, but this is probably not a hard stage, so that's probably too casual. Okay, need Buster support. Really regretting not having Shakespeare, but it's hard to justify leveling him when the other ones have so much more general use than him. Okay, it's decent. Let's go David. David's fine. Okay. You know what? K-Scope George, let's go. Dude, this would be so much fun in Lost Belt 5, too, because there's no bullshit stages in 5-2. Every stage is interesting. Every single one. There's no filler stages. You know, even the fights that aren't like major bosses are still like gimmicky and like bosses. Every single stage is a boss. Like this kind of thing would be, that'd be great to show off different units. Like every stage will give you enough like room to do something, you know, fun with. It's like we need story replay or something. Literally nothing beneficial I can do this turn. By the way, there are going to be times where I'm going to have to bring another DPS because I already know there's going to be a time where we're like fighting a caster and I get an assassin, right? And then it's like, it's just dead weight on the team. So at some point that's, oh my God. Why couldn't, her art card's in the third hand. I'm just hoping this is a complete joke battle and I don't have to get value out of Cha-Cha. That would be great. For me, it's not just her voice, although I really don't like Cha-Cha's voice. It's just like everything. She's bad. I don't like her story. I don't like I have nothing like positive to say about her. You know, I guess nope. That's I was trying to find a positive, but that's not actually a positive. So yeah, I got nothing. Okay, at least she's wearing clothes. Yeah, that's like I always say. I literally don't care how people want to express themselves. I'm not like someone like, oh my God, how dare you wear shorts, right? It's fine. Like literally, it's fine. But not on the kids. Like Jesus Christ, not on the kids. Okay, well this is actually a boss battle to a degree. Got voice acting though. Okay. I got NP right now anyway, even though our defense down hasn't ramped up. I'm gonna want to go around the wheel with George. I like how she has no crit chance even with her second skill. What's her overcharge? That's so garbage! It's more burn damage! Oh man, that helps! It'd be okay if they made it like a huge multiplier, but it's not. The bird looks kind of cool though. I'll give it that. Oh God! We just buffed the hell out of her! What the fuck is that damage? I know she's famous for this, but fuck, that's bad! having this voice acting? I remember I made a video for this with Protoku. I do not remember this voice acting here. Maybe I'm just old and I forgot, but oh, this is not good right now. Yeah, I don't remember this voice at all. I remember it, you're just old, it feels bad. George is actually the DPS here, by the way. Like, she had the Mysticode attack up, which is rather large. She had her defense down, and we had Chin Gong just fucking bust her up. And we did nothing. You know what? I'm okay with that. Normally, I get mad when they do that, and I won't lie, there's definitely a part of me that's mad right now, but I'm okay with that. I'm alright. Alright, I'll be right back. I need to get more water. I don't know why, I'm just going through water like a madman right now. I like didn't drink anything today, and I didn't notice, and I know I'm talking a lot, so. I'll be right back. I need to just get like a giant ass water jug. That would make this a lot easier. This cup's not very big. Alright, I'm back. And normally I'm pretty good actually about like hydrating throughout the day, but every once in a while you just okay, this is okay, what is well, at least Antonio's winning. I thought Nero was gonna win there. I actually have Antonio myself, so don't have to like struggle to make this one work. Alright. I think we're fighting Shiba again, so this is a absolutely awful time to try to make Antonio work, but I guess that'll make it interesting. Like, this is a single target situation against a caster, and we're using an AoE Avenger, that with no survivability. Like, that absolutely does not make sense, but we'll make it work. Beastly's ult has it at level 100. Okay, it's up to chat then. Do we want? What do you want? Do you want the Grailed one or no? Because the Grailed will make it easier, but it's also kind of fun to, you know, see him at his best. We probably need to add Beastly's ult because I'm guessing chat's gonna want that. Yeah, chat wants the Grailed one. I might. So we have Beastly, but I'm assuming we don't have his ult. Let me check. Okay, we do not. But we have room if you want to send me an invite here. We actually don't have the right code for this one. I don't think I've made a command for this account. I only have got like my regular ult and my NA account and my main. Okay, Beastly sent me his thing. Nice. Beastly knows what's up. Yeah, there's our boy. Alright. Oh, he's in the all slot, right. Beastly might not have. Oh, there we go. Alright. Now we even have some basic command codes. That's good. Alright, let me think. So this is probably Queen of Sheba. She's probably single target. She's either single target like, cause she uses her NP or she uses her extra attack, so she's single target no matter what. No need for Chin Gong. How fast will George die? If George dies fast, I could put Mozart here and do like Hans. George is counterclassing though, so he might not actually die that fast. We can go around the wheel though. It should work. When does NA get the extra class banner? I want my MP. Oh, when is that? That should be pretty soon, actually. I don't remember when it was exactly, but that was a long time ago for JP, so it should be soonish. But yeah, you get a literally if you just roll one time, just throw 30 SQ at it, and you'll get MP5 Antonio generally. This is probably too casual if I bring that. Okay. No, it's not the GSSR one. There's one where it's just a typical class banner, right? So you just roll, right? You can roll whenever you want, like regular. But one of them is extra class, and you gotta understand when you do a normal, you know, 10 pull. First of all, you're guaranteed to get one 3-star, but he's the only 3-star. And then you're probably gonna, you know, generally when you do a 10 pull, you're gonna get multiple 3-star servants. But every single time that, you know, you pull a 3-star, it'll be Antonio every single time. So it's so easy to get him there. Generally, you literally use 30 SQ, and you'll get like 3 or 4 copies of him, if not more. Yeah, he's the easiest story locked 3-star to get because of that. Not only that, but you do have GSSRs and a few other things that you can get him in as well. So he's quite easy to get. Could bring the Switch Mystic code in case George just will not die, but this should be all right. Vetiver's pretty easy to get too because he's been in the game so long, and you have White Day, and you've got specific rate ups and Saber banners and that kind of thing. But, you know, they actually haven't made Bedivere easy to get in a while. He hasn't had a rate up in a while, and there hasn't been a Saber rate up in a while. I feel like JP could actually use a class banner. That'd be kind of nice. They haven't had one in a good bit. She only has 200k health? Jesus. Probably a good thing we're using an AoE neutral DPS then, otherwise she'd die too fast. Do I cast his first skill? I think we wait one turn. He is pretty awesome though, man. Like, dude straight out of DNC. Only got him in V3. I mean, that's better than nothing lost. It's better than nothing, but yeah, it sucks. That's a nice star gen for this kind of setup. Why did I not cast this last turn? I'm not NPing with George because I feel like this boss has so little health. I'm just gonna pretend George doesn't have an NP. So I wanted Mozart, but I don't know if the boss is gonna live long enough for us to see that. At some point, they have to update Mozart, dude. The potential is so good. Like, it's Mozart, dude. She guarded the thing. So we need George to go around the wheel and taunt the NP for him to die. I'm gonna not use Hans's NP. I don't want George living forever. Did they get Queen Ashiba's voice actress to do these lines? It'd be pretty hard to tell, because I doubt they would... Like, I don't even know how you could confirm. Couldn't really show off Antonio too well here. You stop murdering Hans. I'm trying to not use his NP here. Alright, chat. Does she got it? Can she handle 4K George with his defense up? I mean, it might be. A lot of voice actors are, you know, they're good at doing things like that. Even, you know, normally she might not be doing a voice like, wow. Okay, no, George is, okay. Fuck it! That's enough, they're gonna kill her now, because we can't get what we want going here. Feels bad. No Mozart. Yeah, I know, his animation's a lot better than Mozart. Man, I wanted my big art up, dude. Actually a dragon, by the way. I feel like George lived this long, he gets to do it. I think that is her voice actress. She's probably just, you know, trying to make it sound, you know, deeper, more monstrous, and they probably changed it a bit as well. What the hell was that voice line? What the fuck was that? Thanks, by the way. I like all of his stages, but I use stage 1 as well. I think that thing's name in battle is like Tinaba or something like that. I can't quite remember. Should be May 2021. Yeah, stage 2 is the suit, and stage 3 is like the super monster form. Well, hi, Cersei. Fucking fight Shiba, learn Cersei's true name. Yeah, that is further away than I expected too. Oh yeah, poll time. What do we got here? I'm glad you said that, Ari. It's easy to miss. Oh, salami time. That's gonna be annoying because, we can't do double salami because mine's not leveled. So we can either use, because she's probably gonna win. Yeah, she's winning. Ooh, excuse me. We can either use mine, which is just like normal level 10, 10, 10, or Lost, which is level 100, 10, 10, 10. So probably chat's gonna want to see Lost, I have a feeling. Yeah, on my main account, I like using mine with Losts. That's really fun. It's actually pretty effective too. Yeah, she's gonna win. Taiga with the, you know, keeping up there. Oh, that's nice. That's a lot of attack for Allows her to be kind of a more typical beat stick. That's kind of good. Now, it's gonna be hard to do her gimmick at all if it's an easier stage. We can turn 1, use her thing though. Got the command code, that's good. I don't want George living forever. Literally giving him a CE to make him die faster. Alright, let's go. Yeah, I hope they buff her NP. That'd be nice. That way her like kind of straightforward gameplay is a bit better. And then when she is doing her gimmick, she's doing even more damage with it, so kind of a double whammy there. Yeah, that speed mode thing at the start, I hate it. Alright, right off the bat. Dude, she's so crazy, dude. She's like, I think she's the craziest person in this game, I would say. Like her voice line, oh yeah, she's level 50 because of the gimmick. Like her voice lines are just absolutely insane. I actually don't want her to kill it. Shit! I shouldn't have even taunted with George then. Kyo's not even that crazy, to be honest. I mean, she's certainly crazy, but she's not that crazy. Like by modern standards, absolutely crazy and breaking the law and all that kind of stuff. But she's kind of your typical obsessive, you know, stalker, right? It's not like she's got aspirations to, like, you know, skull fuck people or blow up a city or, you know, drown everyone or, you know, inhuman. You know, it's like she's not, you know, she's not like a bloodthirsty maniac. Like, Kiyohime is not right in the head and is morally, you know, very bad, but, you know, she's not nearly as crazy as some of the things in this game. Alright, let's see. George is not gonna die, I don't think. It's not really happening. I should have cast this on turn 1! I would like to see them buff her though, so it's a bit more reasonable to pull her gimmick off. Like make her survivability slightly better, or more damage, just, you know, change it up a little bit. But they have to be really careful. She's actually a unit that can really easily become completely broken. So yeah, they can't just like willy-nilly buff her. They gotta actually use their heads. Heck. Yeah, basically what Fury said. Not an endorsement of Kiyohime's behavior, by the way, but it's a pretty low bar, though, to be less crazy than Salome, or however you say her actual name. It's like Salome or something. Salami is much easier. Kiara's not that crazy either. The main issue with Kiara is the fact that Hans's NP exists, right? Like when you can take, because if really, for real, if you had Hans use his NP on every person on the planet and it completed on every person on the planet, there's a lot of people on the planet that are like megalomaniacs and that kind of thing, and so it would be pretty, you know, messed up. The reason Kiara gets so crazy is because of Hans's NP. Like on her own, she's not really that crazy. And hell, actually, in a lot of the timelines, she's pretty normal. I don't know about normal, but, you know, nothing that off the wall. Okay, how close are we? Actually, quite close. It's actually good timing. Dude, Shiro would basically turn into, like, a Superman version of Spartacus. Basically. It'd be kind of fucked. Well, we're gonna get to double NP. There's nothing to hit with our thing though, which is kind of disappointing. We have our damage cut, so we can actually keep the invulnerability. But I don't. That's such a shame because we don't need to keep the invulnerability because George has this taunt. We can actually show off some cool synergy with command codes there, but no need. I should have NP'd with Hans because I forgot Hans will get his NP immediately too. Everybody does. Yeah, I want to see that too, Fury, because they've literally said, like, without a catalyst, that's what he would summon, and it makes sense. It's not like bullshit, it completely makes sense. Fucking 18 health, feels bad. I forgot her first skill has an attack up on it. I'm a dummy. It's attack up and the anti-lawful good thing, so I could have, done better there. Everybody gets their NP. But yeah, if you're able to time it so you have another DPS out, it's really strong. Like, it's super, super strong. Yeah, I should have had Hans NP, then he could NP again. Feels bad that we're not using Hans here, but I figured this is... I need George to do damage, basically. Not bad. But yeah, the best way to use her is when she's enabling someone else, ultimately. Or you're doing the curse thing. The curse thing can actually be pretty legit. Especially if you like do double her taunt walls and the final units of DPS. When the taunt walls are all dead, DPS comes in and now everybody gets to double NP twice in a row and you get 6 NPs. Kind of ridiculous. Actually, you get more than that because they probably already have their NPs. So you get like 8 or 9 NPs. It's kind of wild. Well, I mean, Face the Night wouldn't go well for Shiro, but you could still have a story without him, I suppose. Spartacus is pretty powerful, though, honestly. And I get, you know what, theoretically, really, he could summon Saber Spartacus, who's not half as crazy. He still has, like, the same kind of ideology, but not nearly as extreme, and he's more rational. And Saber Spartacus actually has a really powerful toolkit. Face the Knight's rough, though. Face the Knight is full of so many overpowered servants, because you got Ku, who's ridiculous, although he's super held back because of Kodamine, so he's not, you know, too bad. But then, you know, you got fucking Hercules and Medea in her army, and Medusa's pretty strong too, although with Shinji not so much. And then obviously Gilgamesh and, you know, Emiya, so there's a lot of nonsense out there. Pulls up. Alright, boys, let's get them votes. Oh, look, it's the clown. Why am I not surprised that that is winning? Thank God I actually have him. Alright, this will probably be the last one. I kind of need to wrap up. I might stream later tonight if I got time. Might maybe do some Genshin Impact or Armored Core or something random, but I do need to get a few things done. And I've been feeling a bit under the weather these last few days. I've been having a hard time with sleep apnea shenanigans, but not too bad though. Just a bit exhausted. So one of my other accounts has Clown Boy with higher skill ranks. I think it's in A. I think I've got him like really high skill ranks on an A. I got it like his 3rd skill at rank 10, but it's not on my main. Maybe it's my regular ult. Let me check real quick. No. Alright, well, let's go with my main account one then. Unless by some miracle someone in chat's got one that's better than me, but... Probably not. I'll be glad when we start doing boss fights. This will get really spicy when we're fighting bosses. How strong is Meph lore-wise? He's actually really scary lore-wise. We looked him up, I remember, on stream. He's pretty scary. Basically, he's got some other abilities than this, but off the top of my head, he's got like really strong territory creation, and he can basically set all these like fucked up booby traps in his territory that can like really mess you up. And then he's got basically his NP just spawns bombs all around you, and it's basically like a soul attack. It attacks your Saint graph, and so like that gets around a lot of defenses and stuff. That's actually super messed up. And then like if you're in his territory, you're going to be nerfed. And he also has a skill where his enemy's luck will always fail, like no matter what. Like it makes it so anytime the enemy like has to do a luck check or anything like that, like as a bulg or what have you, it'll always fail. Which that's pretty messed up. Basically, if he can set up his area, he's really strong. And honestly, between his booby traps and his NP, he would be able to kill most things. I'm not even kidding. Like, I can't think of a lot of things that could beat him in his own territory if he's set up and can use his NP. Like, you're pretty fucked. Yeah, honestly, if he could work with Ku, that'd be pretty amazing. Although, honestly, it's pretty unnecessary because it's not common for people to survive bulk. Even with high luck, it's not common. Like, generally, it just doesn't happen. So generally, Ku wouldn't even need help with that. What Ku needs is to just not have Kodamine as a master. That's really all he needs. But it would also be nice with Clown Boy in case he does fight someone that has, like, EX rank luck or something, right? Clown Boy would get rid of that. So it would be pretty nonsense. Like, dealing with Ku and his runs and protection from arrows and bulk, and then also the bombs and Meph's NP, that's pretty messed up. I mean, really, Ku could probably one-shot Artoria more times than not. Like, it's even with her luck stat, normally she wouldn't survive it. And I'm not exaggerating. Like, if it wasn't for Kodamine, Ku would have killed Artoria there quite easily, because everyone acts like Ku lost that fight. He literally won. Like, Ku had no damage. It was completely in fine shape, and Artoria was quite fucked up and had a giant hole in her chest. Right? You know, Ku just had to retreat because of Kodamine. If the fight had continued, Artoria was fucked. So, like, Ku's got Artoria's number pretty well, if he's not having to hold back. You know, Bulk's kind of good. The whole Irish Hercules thing is not an exaggeration. It's not. Like, if Ku's not holding back because of Kodamine and the command spell and all that, like, between Bolg and his runs and his natural skill, I mean, he will absolutely decimate most servants, as will Hercules. Like, especially Saber or Rider or Archer Hercules. Like, they'll just shred people, like, just completely. Yeah, it sucks. The whole Kodamine thing sucks, but as I've said, it makes sense. I mean, Kodamine has Gilgamesh, and he's worrying about those objectives, so it makes sense for him to not want Ku to... Like, it's actually... Like, he doesn't want Ku to kill Artoria there. Gil would be pissed as all hell. He literally used Ku as a scout, and that was it. Yeah, everyone's always like, oh, Caster Ku is so much stronger than Lancer Ku. He's not. I'd actually say Caster Ku is definitely weaker than Lancer Ku, although Caster Ku is definitely good. Like, no joke. The main difference there is just Caster Ku is not being nerfed by Kodamine. That's overwhelmingly why he performs so much better, is because he's not, you know, being nerfed into oblivion. Don't get me wrong, though. Caster Ku is quite scary, and Wicker Man is actually a surprisingly powerful NP. Because even though its rank isn't super high, I think it's like A or A+, which is nice. But the main thing is just its effect is just really good, and a lot of people aren't going to be ready for a giant to come out of the ground all of a sudden, right? Most people aren't really ready for that. Okay, so we're fighting Berserkers. We have a Buster NP, so probably Chin Gong. Buff block is probably going to do nothing here, unfortunately. The defense down, though, can help other people. This is kind of one where you kind of want to use a different DPS with him. I guess ideally a Buster DPS. I have, like, no Buster DPS on this account. Arash it is. I guess Hans keep the pain train running. Actually, maybe that. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah, it's true. Katsuku does have his other NP. I mean, for real, Katsuku is very good. He really is, like, he's a very strong servant. I don't think the difference between Lancer and Katsuku is even that huge. But overall, I think Bolg is definitely better because Bolg allows you to kill so much OP nonsense that you normally couldn't even hurt, right? And it just destroys them, right? And it, not only does Bolg get around a lot of defenses and everything, but it literally does more damage the stronger the enemy is. And so it's always fatal. So you could fight like some giant dragon monstrosity and still just one-shot it, right? That's really useful. Although I tell you what though, it is funny, Katsuku has a higher rank of protection from arrows, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, dude, Fionn is so... I wish they would use him in a serious story. That would be quite nice, because he's got a pretty awesome toolkit. And yeah, he's basically Irish King Arthur, so... Do we just Arash right now, or is that I feel like that's unnecessary because these guys are so weak. Like, it's a waste of his talents. And also, for the most part, Katsuku and regular Ku, or Lancer Ku, whatever you want to call them, they, for the most part, have the same runs. It's just Katsuku's are a higher rank by 1, which is, you know, that's a fairly big deal. Except for Wicker Man, though. Lancer Ku cannot use Wicker Man, because that would be stupid. What's messed up is if you could summon Heroic Spirit Ku, you would get all of the stuff. You would get his chariot, you would get his castle, you would get Wicker Man, you would get Bolg. Like, that is fucked. Like, that would be super fucked. Okay, here we go. Now we use Hans's third skill, carried over to the next one. Even more stars. Oh crap, we actually might not be able to kill here. This hand sucks. Hans, would you care to crit? It's the most damage he can do this turn. Extra attack, please. Oh, that's not a good start. I didn't foe my Hans. Oh, that's not gonna happen. I've wasted my skills! Well. Yeah, I love his voice. It's great. Alright, so we do Clown Boy first, because he'll make Arash, 1, actually be overcharged, and then 2, he'll get the defense down. Who do we give the attack buff to? I guess we give it to Clown Boy because it's probably better on Arash, but Clown Boy is like the one we're supposed to be focusing on, so shame we don't have Hans's NP. That is such a good voice line, by the way. Myth is definitely a servant that's grown on me a lot over time. When I first saw him, when I first got into FGO, I was like, what the hell? But between like his bio and character material and his just amazing voice acting and his amazing utility with his third skill and everything, I've actually kind of grown to like him. He's kind of awesome in his own way. I do wish his design was a bit different. I think you could still do like the vibe they were going for and make it look better. But overall, I do like him just because his voice actor does a really good job. His voice lines are really good. His skills are awesome. There's nothing like him. I mean, let's be real. Just like a Chin Gong, you know, there is no budget Chin Gong, right? It's Chin Gong or nobody else, right? And it's kind of the same for Clown Boy. Like they're pretty one of a kind. All right, I think we'll wrap up there. That's kind of a shorter stream, which kind of it sucks. I'm actually really enjoying this. I'm really looking forward to doing more of this. This whole I know Russian roulette is pretty fun, and I think this will be we got to do this for Lost Belt 5 or something, man. Like that's gonna be really fun. But I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna eat and all that kind of stuff. I might stream some stuff later. I can't guarantee it. I don't know how I'm gonna feel because I'm kind of pooped, but I might try to stream a little bit later. But thank you guys for hanging out. This was actually really fun. I'm looking forward to doing more of this. And we're not too far off. Wait, are we only on chapter 3? What the hell? I was gonna say, I thought we were gonna be on chapter 6 or 7. I'm like, yeah, we're probably getting closer to like the actual boss fights. Apparently not. We didn't do anything today, I guess. But yeah, we'll get to the good stuff later. Like Abigail will be interesting. That with this random thing, I don't even know how that's. We might get wrecked. I'm not gonna lie. But all right, thank you everybody, and I might see you all in a bit. But peace.